everybody? Brian here with another episode of Fishing Control. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time. We are out here on Tybee for a particularly windy day. It should be dying off as we go though, so I apologize if there's some wind noise earlier. I know there will be. It will be dying off as we get into the afternoon. It's about 10 o'clock right now, just at high tide. Tide's going to be moving out. I think there might be some bulls still pushed in. It is later in the day. They've been biting early as it's been getting colder. I don't know if that's a pattern, but we've got some shrimp and some fish bites. We're going to get those out and start seeing if we can find some cut whiting. Cut whiting worked for us last time to get a bull. You know, it catches all kinds of great stuff out here. Some redfish, some bluefish, some black drums, some any of the fish that we can eat, some speckled trout, whatever. We just want to go home with some fish in the cooler today. You know, catching bull reds is neat and everything, but ideally I'd like to go home with some groceries. So let's see if we can do that as well. Both of those things would be cool. Bull red and groceries. Either way, both, either, whatever. Either way, we need to get some shrimp on a hook and get it in the water. We're not going to catch anything, so let's get to it. All right, real quick, we're gonna talk about this setup. This is on a, you know, your whiting rigs can be pretty light setups. Bama Beach Bum likes to use those steelhead rods. Those are a great option because, you know, some of these fish are smaller anyway, so it's just more fun. And I think you see more of the small bites with that flimsy of a rod. But okay, so this one happens to be a 17-pound fluorocarbon leader with a swivel here at the top. It is a double drop style, so on the top hook I've got a 1/0 circle hook with a pink float, and then about 12 to 18 inches below that I've got another 1/0 hook with a pink and white float. So this is Pompano rig style, and then at the bottom I've got a snap swivel. I like the ones, any of the kind that have the little tooth on it, because if you put like a 6-ounce Sputnik on here and it doesn't have that tooth, then what happens is when this guy's closed, the weight of the sinker will pull the tab out and you'll potentially lose your sinker. So something with the tooth on it, the ones that latch closed are even better, but these will do just fine for 6-ounce Sputniks. And I think that's what we're going to toss on here. As soon as I can find one. Here we go. Here's our Sputnik. So we put that on like this. So here's another tip about your Sputniks. Here's another tip about your Sputniks. Not all of them are created equal. Close that. So some of them, when they come in where this wire pinches closed, will be a little gap. So some of your snap swivels will be too narrow and that gap will be too wide, and that's another way you can lose your sinkers. So check those first. These come in a little wide, so I just grab a pair of pliers at the house before I leave and I close them, squeeze them closed, and then now I'm not going to lose that sinker. Some simple thing to check real quick, but that can be a real headache if you're like, can't figure out why you're losing your sinkers all of a sudden for no reason. Well, that's a reason right there. So check that out. So we're going to get some fish bites and shrimp on here, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so you see I already got my fish bites on there. These have been sitting around a little bit, but they'll still work just fine. Don't let faded fish bites fool you. They still work really good. The color is not really the important part, though a little color helps. But okay, so you see I got my fish bites on there already, which I like to do. Not everybody does, but I don't like to mess up my shrimp trying to get the fish bites on the hook after I've already got the shrimp on there. And I like to put the shrimp mostly through the hook, so the point is poking out a little bit. And that should be ready to go. Small piece of shrimp. You don't need a whole shrimp or even a half a shrimp. I get 4 or 5 baits out of one jumbo shrimp. So that's what that should look like. A bite size for a whiting, croaker, spot, keeper sized black drummer redfish. Oh yeah, I can't do a 6-ounce Sputnik on this rod. I need to do one of these guys. I think I was getting a little overzealous for the noodle rod. I put a 6-ounce Sputnik on him. It meant to put 4-ounce Hatteras storm sinker. They sit almost as good as a Sputnik, but not quite. Alright, noodle rod I moved over a few feet. We're going to try and get it behind the first row of breakers here. That is not terrible. And then this FT, we're going to wait just a tiny bit. I actually get more distance kind of sometimes from up here on the sand because of the vertical difference. That's pretty good. That's a bite right here. That's a bite right here. Got this one. What do we got? Small whiting? Small whiting, cut bait. Excellent, right on time. I'm about to have this other leader tied up. It's exactly what we were hoping for. All right, got that rebaited quick as I can. Going right back out about where it was, if possible. Not terrible at all. Backwards here. Uh-oh. We're getting another bite over here anyway. Little baby bluefish. That's cool. Add to the variety for the day. Still nothing in the cooler for food, but we're always happy to see a little bluefish. Little blue. Gonna get him back. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk about, I'm putting out 2 redfish rigs. I got about, what, 2 feet of 30-pound fluoro with a 1/0 circle hook on it, up to a swivel. that is attached to my main line, and then a bead above that to protect the knot from a snap swivel. This is one of the bigger ones I was talking about that has the hook on it, to a 6-ounce Sputnik. And so that'll sit on the bottom with this guy floating out behind it. And on that, I am putting a strip of cut whiting. I think it's important not to use too big of a piece. With plenty of hook point exposed, and make sure to remove any scales from the hook point. Boom, that's a good looking piece of bait. We're gonna do that on both of these. Same exact setup, slightly different rod and reel. All my reels are Penn though. And I don't care that they're the cheap Penns, because you know what? Some of these reels are 6 years old and still rocking it. Boom, plenty of hook exposed. That one's cold. Just cast it fast. That's beyond the breakers. That's all I was going for there. Whew. My balls are cold. Second red rod going out here in a moment. Every time I wade out, there's a new set of waves coming, so let's get this thing going. There's something messing with the bait on the end down there. I think there's a fish. Let's see. It's possible. Might have been getting crabbed. No, there's a fish. A little bit bigger bluefish. Still not a keeper though. It's so rough out there, it's hard to even tell when a fish is on. Let go. You just have it now. Let go. This is why you don't want one of, okay, so you see this? This is why you don't want one of these to get a hold of you. He's unhooked now, but won't let go of the bait. There we go. So yeah, these bluefish have some pretty nasty teeth in there. You can probably see them right there a little bit. We'll get them back. A hit here. That's a hit here. It looks like another one of those blues. This is that bluefish from earlier. He washed back in. Bro, you need to do better. What do we got here? Another small whiting. We'll save him too, and that'll be it for cut bait. There's a hit on the small rod. A lot of fish today. What do we got? Oh, a much bigger bluefish. Of course, that's on the noodle rod. Let's see if this fellow makes the cut. I don't think he still quite makes the cut. Hey, how are you?
What are you catching?
Right now, this is a bluefish.
Oh, those are little blues?
Yeah, it doesn't quite make the cut.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's a whiting. Little bluefish. Going back. There's another friggin' hit right here. I'm betting another bluefish. If it's even here, it might not be here. Not even there. We're gonna get it straight back out. It was getting chewed, but it's still on both hook penetration points. Bait's still secure, is basically what I'm saying there. So we're just gonna get it back out. Fresh enough and still secure. Going back. Full send. Whatever that was, should totally come back and get it. Maybe. It should. It might not, but I think it should. Oh yeah, it did come back. And now I'm over here doing this crap. I think I got it this time though. Something digging down a little more. What do we got? That might be a keeper bluefish. You're real close, dude. Let's get you on the on the measuring board. Let go. One of your buddies is starting to hit my other rod. Let go. Let go. He won't let go, and there's a fish on my other rod. There. Crap. Yeah, there's a fish on here. Yeah, he's big enough. Let's toss him right here. And get to my other rod. I got this one too. Which this has way more pull to it. Another bluefish, and smaller than that one. Going back. That's a real hit over here. Got you. Oh yeah. Shaking its head a little bit. Another good sized blue. Okay, I think there's a fish on the noodle rod again. Oh yeah, what do we got here? More bait, different bait. That's exciting. Decent little spot, we'll keep him. Next time I pull in one of the cut bait rods, we'll swap it out for some spot. See if that does anything different. Little spot. These also make terrific cut bait. Called the spot for the obvious spot. Pretty sure there's a fish on the noodle rod again. We got another little spot. We'll toss him back. Another fish on the noodle rod. Probably another bait fish of some kind, but if I'm catching bait fish, there's probably other things around here too. Another small whiting. Happy to see these guys all day long. Keeping me active. Let me know there's life going on out here. Stealing my bait. That's a fish on while I'm moving the rods. Oh, whiting though. At least it's not a disgusting catfish. I'll let you go back though, buddy. I don't need any more whiting right now. Not unless you were a stud. And that piece of bait's still good. Rehook it there. I'm gonna launch that right back out. Looked up and noticed slack in the yellow rod. Something's going on here. Something's going on here. That's a fish. That's a fish down the beach even. Don't come off. Don't come off. Don't come off. Stingray.
Jellyfish?
Stingray.
Stingray?
Even worse.
Worse.
Yeah. So, it's a fish on the noodle rod. Been a little while. Tide is almost out to where I can get out on the next bar and cast, and that'll be cool. It'll be another round of fishing basically. What do we got? Nice whiting? Small whiting? Small whiting. Always happy to catch whiting. It's a good sign of good things. There we go. There we go. And a little whiting. That was a definite hit on the yellow rod while I was holding it. I don't know if I got it or not. I think we might call this here in a minute. What do we got? There's a fish there. What do we got? Gosh darn. Yeah, that's my sign to like maybe wrap this up for the day. We can come back out tomorrow. tiny little needle spines on him. He would wreck my day if I wasn't careful. Wonder how long he was on there. He's grunting away. Can you hear him? Probably not with all those waves. Bye. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Fishing Control. We got a couple of good bluefish in the cooler for dinner. That's good enough for me. That's going to be good dinner for me and my wife. And I think bluefish are delicious. So I'm looking forward to that. So I just did a bluefish catch and cook recently. So I'll share that. As always, thanks for watching this episode of Fishing Control. And we'll see you on the next trip.